The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. The American Italian Cultural Center and Museum on South Peters in New Orleans offers event venue space, Italian language classes, dual citizenship and translation services, seminars, genealogy, and trips to Italy. Ciao! AmericanItalianCulturalCenter.com. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Hi, Miss Poppy.
Hello, Miss Peggy.
Boy, you got show and tell. Okay. Alfred Richard, movie critic for WWL-TV. Hi.
Hello
Good to see
there,
you
Peggy.
again, sir.
Hello again.
Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and TheaterCriticism.com. Hello, Alan. And he's back, Phil Straub, who is with the Amici Group, and they present and put together the annual Metropolitan Opera Laffont Competition. It's a regional finals. It's very big. We're so excited. Good to see you.
Good to be
Hello.
back, Peggy.
Poppy, yet another very unique take on king cakes.
Well, you know, Peggy, we have to look back to August when I told everybody about Juliana's Brazilian Bakery, which opened up in Lakeview.
On Harrison.
Right on West Harrison.
Harrison.
And
yes.
there were two Julianas. We've got a picture of the restaurant, and and there's the two Julianas. And you see the white jacket is the sweet Juliana, and the black jacket is the savory Juliana. Well, I interviewed them for Louisiana Eats recently, and I said, well, what is your king cake going to be? And they're Brazilian, Peg, so they said, king cake? And they didn't know what I was talking about, really. And so I told them, this is incredibly important. You must have a king cake. It's a bakery's calling card. Well, my goodness. Now, these are the very first ones, and they're coming to West Harrison. You can buy them by the slice, by the cake, pre-order, 24 hours notice. There'll be some to go. Here they are. So we're going to start off in front of Alfred. We have, from the savory Julia, a shrimp in coconut milk cream with red palm oil and bechamel, topped with a Parmesan gratin. Then, over here in front of Alan, we have smoked sausage, onion, corn, olives, cheese, with a bechamel, bacon, and Parmesan gratin.
Don't tell my rabbi.
Yeah, wait, it's just close. So right here in front of me, we have the dulce de leche cream cheese. Over there, we have the guava cake. And on the pedestal, holy moly, for a Mardi Gras birthday, how about French vanilla cake with dulce de leche, iced with Swiss meringue?
That is so beautiful right there.
Oh my gosh, they're all so beautiful. And as I said, they're all right there on West Harrison by the slice, by the cake. Go see the Julianas, because also you can be the hit of any Mardi Gras party with a king cake nobody's tasted before.
Yes.
And their whole freezer case is filled with all sorts of fabulous little savory pastries, which they're frozen, and you can take them as a hostess gift. You can serve them at your Mardi. Don't miss Juliana's Brazilian Bakery. And then, for the cakes you already know that you're looking for, the King Cake Connection. Now, this was sort of a King Cake Hub sort of spin-off, but specifically for minority bakers, the King Cake Connection is back. This year, they're down at the Historic New Orleans Collection on Royal Street 6 days a week. And they're back at the Southern Food and Beverage Museum Thursday through Saturday. And so it's all minority bakers like Adrian's, the Heavenly Sweet, Maddie Cakes, Nola Cookie Company, all sorts of yummy, yummy, yummy. Viola's Heritage Bread, Sweet Cakes, AJ Treats. And then, of course, this is New Orleans. Here's something entirely new. How about a king cake drive-through? So the king cake drive-through is on Metairie Road at Jimmy Duckworth Tires. And it's, I know, it's only in New Orleans. It's operating Friday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And they've got cakes from everybody. Bittersweet Confections, Brennan's, Bywater Bakery, Kaluta, District Donuts, Dough Winners. You don't have to go to the West Bank. Empanola, Gambino's, Gracious Bakery, Kimmy Bakes, Nolita, Pawpaw's Donuts, Tartine, that's a delicious cake, and Violet Sprinkles. And then, a little more food news, G.W. Finn's got in touch with me to say that January 14th through the 20th, the dry-aged fish is coming out of the dry-aged case there. Bluefin, yellowfin, big-eye tuna, and swordfish. Make your reservations now. Extremely limited amount of this dry-aged fish. Who ever heard of such? And then we have to end with a big congratulations to Donald Link, who on Thursday the 25th is going to be receiving the Ella Brennan Lifetime Achievement Awards at the Nalfi Gala at the Four Seasons.
Very well deserved. Thank you so much, Poppy.
Happy Mardi Gras.
It sure smells good in here. That's all I can say. Alfred, some movies you're looking forward to.
Some movies you're looking forward to. Besides that, one, I'm getting hungry. And number two, you can go to Jimmy Duckworth and not only get the king cake, you can also rotate your tires there as well.
Jimmy Duckworth is not open on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So you don't have to encounter any traffic getting your king cake.
Well, that explains everything.
Well, that explains that. Okay, well, that's good.
Good to know.
Movies I'm looking forward to, especially as we're now counting down the days, getting ready for the Oscars. We've already had the Golden Globes, and we're starting to get more of the award ceremonies. One that I'm really looking forward to, and I had the opportunity to see, was American Fiction. Now, this is the one starring Jeffrey Wright, who's getting all kinds of press as a potential Best Actor nominee. It is about a young African-American author who's rather upset with the way that the business pigeonholes authors like him. So he decides that he is going to write a novel that has all sorts of stereotypical tropes and language and slang that some people would think would be on part of the African-American experience. And when it becomes a huge hit, he suddenly realizes, oh my goodness, this was a joke, and it's become a very expensive joke, so much so that the publishers are saying to him, we want Michael B. Jordan to play you in the film, and it's amazing. Also, it stars Sterling K. Brown and Issa Rae in it. Fantastic performances there. Expect to see some possible nominations for Best Actor and a potential Best Picture. This is, I was saying to you one time off air, this is going to be a very tough year for Oscar to try to pick a Best Picture.
It's a good problem.
It's a good problem instead of some of the other problems the Academy has had. And remember, there will be no Will Smith.
Not for 8 more years.
Not for 8 more years. He won't be mean. And segueing that, we're going to go into the new version of Mean Girls. Now, Tina Fey is back in writing this and even appearing in this one here. But this time, new student Cody, played by Angoya Rice, she has to take on the new clique in the school, the Plastics. But of course, she takes on the Plastics with her own group of offbeat young girls taking on high school. It also stars John Hamm. Of course, we all remember from Mad Men. Really good. I really liked him in that and such. And of course, no, we're not going to see any Lindsay Lohan in this one. But as it was said, this is not your mom's Mean Girls. But expect this one. This one's rated PG-13. And now, if you have a problem, in society and you look for help, you could call on the A-Team. You could even look up The Equalizer. Or you could call and look for a man who has a certain set of skills in Liam Neeson. But if you can't find any of them, you can contact Jason Statham. He's the beekeeper. I know sometimes you sit back and wonder if Hollywood coming up with these things. Yes, he portrays a man who is an agent, who was an agent years ago, but he has now taken on the role of peace as a beekeeper. But when problems happen internationally and nationally, he is called upon to exert his sort of skills out there. And it's not just giving them honey and honeycomb. It is rated R. But again, if you like Jason Statham, if you like that type of action film, fine. But you just have to get over the idea that, oh, you're going to watch? Oh, I'm going to watch The Beekeeper. Is this a fancy film you'll see at the Broad? No, it's The Beekeeper.
Thank you, Alfred. And turning to something completely different. Figaro. No, Phil. We are just amazed, and I guess somebody could do a dissertation on why is it that New Orleans is so blessed to have had so many nationally and internationally known opera stars, you know, originally born here. And you all, the Amici group, kind of help makes that happen. Explain, please.
Every year about this time, early January, we have the district and regional finals here in New Orleans. And I need to back up a little bit and explain how this whole process works, because the Laffont competition, recently renamed the Laffont competition, has been going on for over 70 years. And it has 4 steps to it. There is a district competition which is very local. For example, in New Orleans, the New Orleans region, we have New Orleans, Houston, and Puerto Rico. The winners from those district auditions then progress to a regional final. The regional final is again local. New Orleans, South California, New York City. They're bigger cities that take in those districts that are further away. The winners from the regions go to New York for the semifinals, which are sung on the stage of the Met with a piano, and then the finals a week later, where the singers perform on the stage of the Met with a full Met orchestra.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
I mean, it is one of the wonderful joys of my life to have watched young singers progress through that process.
As we talk, we're going to show you just a few of the photos of some of the winners of the regionals who have certainly gone on to perform at the Met and around the country. And I mean, it's such an illustrious list. But yeah, let's keep going. So Amici is a friends group that helps raise money to help some of these very talented folks along, correct?
As a group, the Amici has concerts. We have workers and volunteers who contribute both time and money. And the whole target is to raise prize money for the singers at the district and regional finals. That is our function. As a consequence, the first, we're looking at Elizabeth Futrall, who's a very early winner, 1991, who gives you some idea of how successful we've been here. The Amici people have been known to go far beyond just the prize money. As I said, the young singers go on to New York. We had a young male who went to New York and didn't own a tuxedo. Amici bought him a tuxedo.
That's so dear.
In New York. Lisette Oropesa, a recent winner, 2005. I've got a great funny story about her and the relationship I had with her. She has become one of the in-demand sopranos in the world right now. She is performing predominantly in Europe, but she is in high demand almost everywhere she goes. Let's see, Alfred Walker, another
wonderful.
Dillard University, Loyola University, Metropolitan Lindemann's Young Artist Program. He is now, again, a huge in-demand young singer. We have been told by people around the country that they are convinced that the reason there are so many good singers coming out of New Orleans is the water.
Yep.
We say, no, it's the king cake.
And so, of course, we're talking about this weekend. Let's set that up.
Yes.
Like Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday. Paul Groves, another winner from 1991, another internationally known singer. And wait till you see the last one who comes up. It's a name that I suspect everyone will recognize.
Grandfather.
Norman Tregel's granddaughter.
Oh,
she just won in 2021.
Amazing.
It's on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday will start at 10 o'clock. We'll have the district people from all around the country who will come to New Orleans to sing in the district. That will start at 10, run until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Several people will be selected from there to go to the regional finals on Sunday, which will start about 1 o'clock and run until about 4 or 5 o'clock. This is all done at Roussel Hall at Loyola University. And for those of you who don't know where Roussel Hall is, the corner of Calhoun and St. Charles Avenue, you can't miss it.
No, you can't. And what a deal. Saturday is actually free.
Saturday is free and open to the public. Anybody and everybody can come.
Yeah.
Sunday, it's free for Amici members, for faculty members and students. Everybody else is asked to make a $20 donation, but if you want to get around the $20 donation, you can go to the membership table on Sunday and become a member of Amici.
Because you all do stuff throughout the year.
Oh, we do stuff throughout the year.
Yeah,
and
wonderful.
It's New Orleans, a social group. You know, we got to have parties.
You got to have parties.
We got to have parties.
Definitely have
and
parties.
that happens.
Okay.
But yes, it's a great time, and I love coming back. This is 3 years in a row now I've come back to King Case.
Your timing is so good, so good. Thank you so much, Phil.
We
Alan.
love having you. Phil is really the Don of Amici.
Yeah.
All right,
I was going to work on that.
I'm going to go
thinking about
with as much as we have a good time here. I have to start with some sad news, and I think Phil will also ring in on this. Opera enthusiasts were all saddened with the passing, of course, of the maestro himself, Robert Lyle, who was the general and artistic director of the New Orleans Opera Association for 25 years, also principal conductor of the opera. He pushed the boundaries of conventional opera. Only Katrina stopped him from performing Götterdämmerung, which would have been the final piece of the Ring cycle that he had hoped to have completed. He also had a production of Andre Previn's A Streetcar Named Desire right after its world premiere in San Francisco. He also planned the world premiere of Pontalba, about the Baroness and the intrigue between her and her husband and her father-in-law. And in 2006, the now renamed Placido Domingo stage at the Mahalia Jackson Theater was the place where the famous Spanish tenor presided over an evening of a night of opera, which really told the world that New Orleans and the art world were back together again. So he leaves the city much better off than he ever found it, and we are very sad to know of his passing. Then yesterday came more sort of upsetting news for theater people that the planned production of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf was being canceled over at Le Petit, continuing about the concerns that they had with the health of its star, Lance Nichols. He was slated to star alongside his real wife there, Zardis, on the left. I talked to Lance, by the way, and he says he is improving, but regrettably, he had to postpone this show for now. Hopefully, it will be back on the boards. I also talked with director Tommy Myrick, who assured me that if this production does go on, and it does in the future, she hopes to have this exact same cast as her dream cast. So maybe we should call this postponed, not canceled. Those of you who had tickets will be contacted by the box office at Le Petit. If you need more information, there's where you can get it. But in the meantime, it has been canceled. But as the saying goes, the show must go on. Le Petit has quickly pivoted, and they now have secured the services of Nick Searley. Now, that's the guy who's one half of the Skivvies. If you remember, they performed here at Christmas time. And this one-man play that he's going to be in is called Buyer and Seller. It's a fictional account that's based in part on this book, which I'm holding right now, which is My Passion for Design. This is by Barbara Streisand. And on page 190 of this book, she talks about a mall that she created in her basement. and believe it or not. And the show's premise is that there's a man who's hired to be in the basement of Barbara Streisand's mansion and basically sell the star items that she already owns. Yes, it's ridiculous, but it's also very funny and a way of really taking shots at stars who have way too much time and way too much money. The show runs in place of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf on Thursday through Sunday. A nightly performance at 7:30, matinees, of course, at 2 o'clock. There is no show on February the 1st. Currently playing at the Sanger, those of you who have not had a chance to see it, the Lerner and Lowe's 1956 classic, A My Fair Lady on its national tour, rescheduled from 2020 when it was canceled due to the pandemic. Annette Barrios Torres, you see there, who does possess a very good voice, stars as Eliza Doolittle, the flower girl, taken in by Professor Henry Higgins, played by Jonathan Gurnett. While I found Gurnett was not as convincing as Higgins, probably because he's just a bit too young, the other role of Colonel Pickering, played by John Atkinson, is done very well. While the set design and costumes are quite outstanding, I found this new version to be a tepid and weak spot of tea, and I compare it to some of the better local community theater pieces I've seen here locally. So Michael Hegarty, though, does stand out a little bit as Alfred Doolittle, Eliza's father, a common dustman who famously sings A Little Bit of Luck and Get Me to the Church on Time. Two great songs. All in all, it's a good non-equity production, but it just lacks some of the pizzazz I've seen in other productions. For those that have never seen the show, though, it is worth seeing. And then, again, And opening tomorrow night at the Contemporary Arts Center is Agnes Borinsky's The Trees, being produced by Intramural Theater. Ian Hawke and Rebecca Gordon-Kirk star in this tale of two siblings who literally take root and become trees. And then across town in Rivertown, there's the Big Easy Boys and Babes getting ready to present live on Lloyd Price Avenue. This show really does an homage to New Orleans music. The shows run weekends till the end of the month, and tickets are still available, so check that out as well.
All right, thank you so much. Lots of stuff. All right. Well, I'm going to kick off our picks with some WYES items first. Zazu Restaurant is one of 10 restaurants featuring special dinners benefiting our station. Here's our Dana Hansel with Zazu chef owner Sue Zamenek.
Hi, I'm Dana Hansel with WYES, and we're here to talk about the season of good taste dinners. First up is Chef Sue Zamenek, and we're here today at Zazu. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about what she's planning for you. Well, first let's talk about what she's done. It's amazing. First, she was featured in the WYES Kitchen Queen series. 26 women were in this series. She's also was top of her class at the Culinary Institute of America in New York. Executive chef at Gautro's, 2013 Best Chef South by James Beard Foundation, Top 10 Best New Chef by Food and Wine Magazine, Festivals, TV, Judge on Top Chef, contestant on Top Chef Masters, and to top it off, the Honorary Muses in 2015. So as you can see, this is quite an accomplished lady, and we're excited to talk to her today. So Sue, tell us what inspires you, or how you inspire your team, because clearly you're doing something right.
Well, thank you so much for those kind words. There's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to how we create food at the restaurant and what inspires me and my team. I think a lot of it has to do with what's locally available, what is fresh and delicious and in season, but also what's happening in the world out there. Wow. We like to take flavors from all over the world and not just kind of pigeonhole ourselves into one style of food. So we kind of, you'll see a little bit of Asian influence, you'll see a little bit of Southern influence, you'll see some of my Slovak heritage coming on, on the menu.
Right.
But what inspired this menu mostly was just trying to do things that were local, and then also bring in a few ingredients from outside of New Orleans and Louisiana.
Yum. Well, I will tell you, for those who've seen it, it is quite a menu.
It really
with
is.
a lot. It is. It was 6 courses, so I definitely need to come hungry. So what people need to know at this point, it is already sold out. Because yes, we're very excited, but there is a wait list, and sometimes that works out. So we do encourage you to please take a look at the wait list, and you can go to wyes.org/events and check it out. And we hope you can join us on January 23rd with Chef Sue at Zazu.
Go to wyes.org/events to get on a wait list for Zazu, and you can check out that wonderful menu. And there's all these other fine restaurants too, 9 of them. So check all of that out and these dinners in the next coming months. Next Wednesday evening at 9 p.m., producer and narrator Dennis Waltering profiles 6 Louisiana inventors and innovators. Alden Doc Laborde, who helped invent international offshore drilling, Jerome Goldman, who created designs that led to faster, safer worldwide shipping, Ruth Fertel, David Orrick, J.M. Lepere, inventor of machines that revolutionized the shrimp industry and other fields, and Louisiana native Madam C.J. Walker, who overcame Jim Crow-era discrimination to become America's first self-made female millionaire. And on Saturday, January 20th from 1 to 3, WYES presents King Cake in Conversation. Author Matt Haynes discusses baking king cakes. Errol Laborde and Arthur Hardy and I will show some rare Mardi Gras home movies in the studio. Diane Honore, who heads up the Black Storyville Baby Dolls walking group, will talk about that, as will Big Chief Daryl Montana. Plus, over a dozen king cakes. Go to wyes.org/events for tickets. Now our picks. Poppy.
Oh my goodness, it's not Mardi Gras until the Crew de Vue rolls for me. And there's a viewing party at Tujac, Saturday, January 27th, 6 till 10. Their balcony is the best place you can see Crew de Vue.
Alfred.
You've seen the film Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour. We've had Beyonce's film, Renaissance. Well, the 610 Stompers are joining the party as well. This Saturday, the 610 Stompers debutante ball, it's the Errors Tour. Pop stars. And in fact, you might see a certain stomper dressed up as Sir Elton John. It's Saturday, January 6th and 13th at 8 p.m. Tickets are available at eventbrite.com. Dress as your favorite pop star.
Thank you, Alan.
Marcus Roberts joins forces with Jason Marcellus on drums and Roland Guerin on bass as his trio pairs with the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra and special guest vocalist Chase Kamada in a really special tribute to her grandparents, Edgar Dookie Chase and Leah Chase, with a program of Gershwin, Berlin, Ellington, and Arlen. Check it out, and I'll see you at the theater.
Thank you, Phil.
And you've got to come to Roussel Hall Loyola and hear the next Charles Anthony or Anthony Latura or Brian Email, a young singer. Come out and join Amici and help us support these young people as they progress in their careers.
And check out their Facebook page, too. That'd be great. And thank you, Phil. And this Saturday, an all-day virtual writing retreat will be presented by the Tennessee Williams and New Orleans Literary Festival. Go to TennesseeWilliams.net to register. All kinds of different kinds of writing, too. Sunday marks the debut of the new New Orleans version of National Voodoo Day, founded in Benin in West Africa, and it will recall the transatlantic slave trade, and there'll be a procession beginning at 10 a.m., starting at the Moonwalk, and it'll stop at places in the quarter where slave activity once took place. At noon, there's a ceremony at Congo Square, and for details on all of that, go to voodooday.org, and check that out, voodooday.org. Thank you all so very much, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. The American Italian Cultural Center and Museum on South Peters in New Orleans offers event venue space, Italian language classes, dual citizenship and translation services, seminars, genealogy, and trips to Italy. Ciao! AmericanItalianCulturalCenter.com. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.